Hello, Pop Consumer Society. Welcome back. It's lunchtime, and look, it's leaked. Everything's leaked. Official leak. The X-Men costumes for Doomsday. What will the costumes look like? How will they present themselves? We have high expectations. There are already rumors going around that the costumes, outfits, and suits will be close to the comics, that the inspiration will be the X-Men animation from Fox, and that these X-Men will have a comic book appearance. The comics will inspire them, and the black leather trend will end. Now it's yellow spandex, brother. And then they sent me these pictures several times on Instagram saying, look, it leaked. Look here. Doomsday leaked several concept images which really matched, because the artist who was identified really worked on the initial concepts, things still at the beginning of pre-production. And that may not match the final product, of course, but they give an indication of what's coming. This one here doesn't have an artist, doesn't have a name. You don't know where it came from. You don't know who made it. When I looked at it, I was already like, But then one fell, two fell, three fell. There were people really believing, excited, celebrating, because there are people who believe in anything, any scam. There are some profiles nowadays, especially on Instagram, some profiles that you look at and you can't believe it, that these guys are capable of making up so much and still getting positive feedback, something that's clearly made up. And the crazy ones keep sending this to me so I can analyze it here. I have no problem analyzing real things, fake things. Part of our job is exactly that, to give you a transparent analysis, an honest, sincere, and human analysis, because I can also make mistakes sometimes, and sometimes say this is clearly artificial intelligence, and it's not. It's not very common. Usually we get it right. But it can happen. But this time I gave myself the benefit of the doubt to open it and take a look at what they were thinking here. So there's Deadpool there. No surprises. It's basically the Deadpool from the movie. Then I switched to Wolverine. There's a mask that I think is a bit better. Detail here of the, now with the blue shoulder pad. Detail here where he used to wear his underwear over his pants. They just added two details like this, two little blue squares. I thought it looked decent. Great, it works when stationary. I'd like to see it moving. So I went with it, Gambit too, so it's a bit closer to the comics, but it's Channing Tatum's Gambit. I liked that they left his neck a bit freer. He looked less restricted. Having that, it's not even a mask. What's the name of that? I don't even know what it's called. That headpiece he wears that doesn't even protect his ears. It only protects the back of his neck so he doesn't accidentally hit himself with the stuff, and then the party starts. Then the fun begins. Oh no, I saw that last. But I'll comment first, it's Magneto. Magneto is also wearing knee pads. I said, man, Magneto with knee pads, I never thought of that. They put Ian McKellen's head there. Even though the body, right? If that's Ian McKellen's body, look, that's impressive. He got his glutes wet with Dwayne Johnson, and he also has a compartment to pee, which I found very useful. Up to that point, I said, man, it could be or it might not be. There's not much here to look at and say, I caught it. I caught it in the act. Or was I more tempted or not? That's when Professor Xavier shows up. Who is Neil Patrick Stewart. He clearly wasn't the first thing that caught my attention. But it's interesting to notice that he has little hair. On the side here, I already said, hey, glasses. Also, first of all, Professor Xavier from the comics and animations doesn't wear glasses. Maybe he used glasses for reading at some point, but casually he doesn't wear glasses or have hair. A classic trait of the character is to be bald. None. Completely bald. I don't think they'll even put a little hair on the sides, not even if Patrick Stewart asks, because he can't stand shaving his head anymore. The chair doesn't make sense. I liked it. It's a mix between that yellow chair from the cartoon and another version that's a bit more curved, a bit more modern. It resembles Bumblebee, as if it might transform into a robot. The chair design is a good concept. The first thing that caught my attention immediately ruled out the possibility of it being real for me. Professor Xavier has his legs crossed. He has his legs crossed. I don't want to be ableist here in my analysis, but unless someone was messing around as a joke, take his leg and do this, and put it over the other. He can't do that by himself, unless he does it just to show off. Right there I looked and said, wow, here ya made a mistake, here ya slipped up. It was even funny, because we're not used to seeing Professor Xavier in this charming position with his legs crossed. Why does he need to cross his legs? He can feel his legs. Then for me it was over. There was no way out anymore. I stamped it as fake. I don't want to know anymore. Professor Xavier with hair sitting cross-legged. He shouldn't have revealed that one and should have kept it off the list. But it's there, yeah. I've already seen it there. There's nothing I can do about it now. I was already convinced I was going before that. It was even obvious that it was. Then comes Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler, who is my favorite Marvel character. You guys know that, and I like the way they put him together, the way they did the shoulder part, the boot. It's cool. Even the face sculpt looks good. Really cool. And then I went to the foot and the hand. So, there's a problem with the foot and hand. It can't do 5 fingers. Sometimes it puts 6, 7, 8, 12 fingers. It still hasn't solved this problem yet. With time it will. But the first place you look to identify artificial intelligence is when you look at the fingers. And Nightcrawler from the comics, from the cartoons, even his version in all the movies has 3 fingers, right? 3 fingers on the hand, 3 fingers on the foot, and a prehensile tail. He has 4 fingers. And you can see the nail sticking out over the top of the boot. A nail sticking out over the boot, it broke too much, and I don't think they would make Nightcrawler with 4 fingers when they have the chance to do it with 3. What's the logic? If you're going to remove a finger, remove 2, or make it with 5 or with 3. 4 doesn't exist, so it's a 4-fingered Nightcrawler. And once again, they didn't calculate it right stylistically, because artistically, the character has 3 fingers on his hand. So, which I was already sure of. Then I started laughing, finding it funny. I said, I have to share this with everyone because it's an analysis. It's practically a reaction. It's a very comical analysis of something that's pretending to be real, guys. It's not real. Fake, fake, fake. Totally fake. Don't be fooled. The X-Men suit hasn't leaked. It could be that the artificial intelligence got some details right just by luck. By deduction, but this isn't real. Nothing has leaked. And it's possible that we'll actually have costumes that are closer to the comics. Maybe not that much, but it won't be like this. Professor Xavier won't be crossing his legs, which is what I wanted to discuss. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more pop culture content. Check out more channel options on the screen. Click and stay with me a little longer, and don't forget to check out the weekend videos for you. Stay updated with the channel's content. See you later, see you soon, see you in a bit.